everybody, welcome to the Black Sheep Props channel. I'm Steve and I'm here to teach you the tips, tools, techniques, and materials for building your very own super cool EVA foam props. In our last episode, making an EVA foam broilers hook part 1, we got almost the whole thing built. You saw how easy it was, super easy, like always, just take your time. And so now in this episode, making an EVA foam broilers hook part 2, we're going to finish off the last couple details. We're going to wrap the handle, create this cool bevel-y jazz at the end there. I guess that's for either a ring to hang it from your belt, or if it was me, I'd be poking people with it because that's a pokey thing. So in this episode, making an EVA foam broilers hook part 2, we're going to finish that off and we're going to seal it and paint it. And the paint job's super fun. And really easy. We're going to spray a little bit of it, we're going to sponge brush some of it, we're going to regular brush some of it, multiple coats. We're going to get kind of artistic in here with our transition from yellow to orange inside the vents and on the tip of the hook. But easy stuff, man, really easy. So if you're ready to hit it, let's make something. Alright, here we go. Here's our 12mm piece of foam. Right through the center like that. Okay, now what we're going to be doing is we're going to be cutting these out and we're going to be beveling them. Okay, there we go, just like that. Okay, now we've got this nice little wedged out piece. Now we're going to come in with the Dremel and we're going to be tapering both sides before we make our cut. Alright, we're going to have to draw guidelines through the middle of every side. Okay, we've got our center marked through the whole thing. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to come in and we're going to Dremel from this line to this line, all the way down the side. Alright, there we go. We went from one center line to the other center line. I'm putting gloves on. Alright, there we go. Now we're going to do the same thing all the way around the whole piece, okay? Alright, look at that. That is beveled all the way around all four sides, alright? Now we're going to come in and make some cuts. It's beveled on all four sides. Now what we're going to be doing is we're going to be standing it up on an angle like this, and we're going to be making some cuts. Right now, these are our cuts right here. This is our template. Okay, so we're going to come in, we're going to lay it down right here, and we're going to follow these lines. All right, so let's come in and do this first one right here. We're going to stand this up. All right, there's one. Just like that. All right, look at that. That's pretty cool. This may not be perfect because this was kind of hard to do, but let's try it anyway. We might get lucky. There we go. This turned out pretty cool. All right, there we go. Beveled all the way around. That is actually pretty darn cool. We're going to cut it off so it's got a flat part to attach to the end of the handle. Okay, so we're going to come in and we're going to knock that off on the bandsaw. All right, there we go. Cut the end off. Let's seal it. Turned out pretty good. Okay, now we're going to take this 2mm piece of foam, an inch wide, and we're going to wrap the handle. Now you've seen us wrap a handle before. You cut a really long angle on it. This is how you wrap like a baseball bat or a golf club. And this cut right here, we line right up with the edge like that, and then we just start wrapping it. And then when it comes around to the end, it matches up in the same way on this side. Pretty cool, huh? All right. Stick that down. All right, and then this is going to go right there. So we're going to use our painter's tape again on this side to hold it down. We've got it evenly spaced out. Now we're just going to trace all the way around. Now we have our guideline. There we go. All right, there we go. Follow the line we drew. Now we're not going to stretch it because it's the perfect length right now, and if we stretch it, it'll be too long when we reach the end. We want to just lay it down right where we had it when we drew our guidelines. So we're just... All right, looking pretty good. All right, there we go. Check out that handle. Simple, simple, just a 2mm wrap, but it looks cool. Love it. Okay, we had a little bit of a mess up, all right? You just saw us finish the wrap on here, but we noticed the diamond detail we did on the back was too small. It wasn't in scale to all the pictures. So we redid it, and we did it larger, okay? But we used a different technique. The first time we did it, it was kind of a pain in the neck technique where we dremeled off all the sides to create a diamond sort of a shape for each piece. But we realized if we just cut the right diameter of strips, we can do it in a much simpler way. And we're going to show you exactly what that simpler way was. So now you're going to see two different techniques to accomplish the same thing. You saw us dremel it to create the bevels and then piece it together, and now we'll show you this second technique. Turns out almost the same way, but this technique is definitely easier. So let's go look at how we fixed it. Okay, here's a 10mm piece of foam. Now 10mm is 3/8 of an inch thick. So we drew these lines to be 3/8. So when we cut it out, it's going to be 3/8 all the way around. Okay, our 3 side cuts, just like this. Okay, now we're going to come through and make our long cuts, just like right there. All right, there we go. There's 4 pieces, all right? They're 3/8 by 3/8 by 1.5. All right, now we're gonna be putting them together like a picture frame, okay? So that means we need to cut a 45-degree corner. All right, and we've got 45-degree lines on our table. So we're gonna bring it in. We're going to make a dot here and a dot here, and then we're going to flip it around and do the same thing right there. All right, now we're going to do that on all 4 of these pieces. All right, there we go. There's all 4 of them with the 45-degree corners. All right, now we're going to come in and we're going to take it and we're going to stand it up on its edge. We're not going to lay it flat on its side. We're going to stand it up on its edge, and we're going to start here at the end. And we are going to saw right through at our 45-degree angle, just like that. All right, and we're going to come to this side, do the same thing, stand it up. We're going to saw through at a 45. There we go. All right, now we have a 45-degree angle cut on both sides. Now we're going to do that to all these pieces. We're going to come in with some super glue. Get the end coated. Connect this side. Get all the corners lined up. That is a beveled mitered corner, man. Cool. All right, now what we're going to do for the final piece is we're going to use a little bit of contact cement. Touch our tip down, get our corner lined up here. Then we're going to get our corner lined up here, so we're in pretty good shape. Now we're going to squeeze this together. Beautiful in the corner. All right, here we go. Let's line up our tip. Let's line this side up, squeeze it in place. Same thing over here. Let's line it up. Let's squeeze it in place. And then let's get it together. Okay, there we go. Check that out. It's a mitered corner and all the corners. Look. Okay, so now this is going to come in and go right on the end of this piece, okay? But we're going to have to cut it off so it has a flat piece to sit on. All right. Okay, there we go. That's where we're going to make our cut. Let's go over to the bandsaw and knock it off. All right, there we go. Look at that. Cut the bottom off. Now we can bring that in and we can stick it right on the handle like that. Line our stuff up in the center. Let's push it down, let it make contact. All right, there we go. Look at how cool that looks. Wow, is that cool? Really nice. Formed it, knocked the end off, used the flat spot to attach it. That is mighty cool. Nice. All right, with that last little diamond detail on the back of the handle, that brings the build portion of our broiler's hook to a close. Okay, here we are at the spray stand. We're going to begin coating our broiler's hook with our Plastidip. And you know what we always say, even if you're outside in a well-ventilated area, do not spray without your respirator. All right, there we go. Coated with Plastidip. Look at that thing, man. Like we always say, this is one of the stages where it goes crazy. It goes from just something you made to something real. Look at that. Looking good. All right, let's leave it alone. Let's let it dry all the way through, and then we'll paint it. All right, there we go. Check it out. Pretty cool. Automatically starts looking really real when color starts getting on it. So there we go. We've got our first piece of paint down on our broiler's hook. Now we're just going to let this sit for a little bit, let it dry all the way through, and then we're going to start painting other parts of it. This should be a really, really simple paint job. All right, now we're going to come in with our French wine. It's a dark red. Our handle. Doesn't matter if we hit this little collar because we're going to be painting that with another color. Now, since we're using our sponge brush, we left some little darkness down around the edges and in the corners, which is exactly what we want. That easy. We're going to leave it alone, let it dry. All right, now we're going to come in with our apple red. Try to get it pretty dry. All right, there we go. All right, now we're going to hit certain spots. We're going to brighten up with that apple red. Look at that. See how it just changes the tone there in the middle? All right, there we go. Now we've got some lighter areas through there. Very cool. Now we're going to come in with our brush. All right, there we go. We came in with our French wine, left it kind of not super covered, left dark in the crevices, then we came in with our apple red, and we just hit around some of the edges of the strap. And we dabbed some into some areas just to make a tone change, so we're going from dark red to light red in some spots. Real subtle, but that's it right there. 2 colors of red, a little bit of dark see-through, and we'll stop right there. All right, here we go. Coming in with our silver. All right, real easy stuff. Nothing hard here at all. Nothing. And the silver is going on a little bit thin, so we'll do several coats of the silver. Just keep going. Fill the whole thing in. Let it dry. Then we'll come back with a second coat. And we're going to cut in around our wrap, and we're not going to get all the way into the corner because we want to leave that dark little grimy looking corner down in there. We're going to let that alone. Once it dries, we'll come back in, coat it with another coat. If we need to, we'll put a third coat on there. That's it. Nothing hard about it. We don't need to mask anything off. We really don't. All right, there we go. Multiple coats of the silver. Looking pretty good. Now we're going to come in with our pumpkin patch, our orange. All right, now we're going to get a little bit artistic here. All right, we're going to do some blending. All right, there's our orange right there. All right, we're going to cut in right up against the edge, just like that, and we're just going to fill it in. Filled in with orange. Now it's not the best coat of orange, but you've seen this happen with us before. We're going to do all of the rest of these little vents here in our orange. We're going to let it all dry, then we're going to do a couple coats on it just to get it nice and solid. All right, there we go. We've got multiple coats of our orange in there. It's nice and bright. Okay, now we're going to come in here. This is where we're going to start to get a little bit artistic, okay? We're going to come back in with our orange. All right, now we're going to start here at the tip, all right? All right, we're going to get the whole tip coated with our bright orange. All right, there we go. Now what we're going to do is we're going to start to fade it off. Okay, so what we're going to do is as the brush starts to get more dry, the paint's just going to thin right out. Look at that. See that? Okay, we come in and then we just start tapping a little bit lighter. Perfect. Same thing here. We're going to tap on it and then just start tapping a little bit lighter. And as you tap lighter, look at that, it just fades right off. All right, that's what we're doing, just like that. The pictures that we've seen have it starting at orange and just kind of fading off, which is what we did right there. That's it. Okay, now while that's drying, we're going to come in with our silver. All right, we're going to get just a little tiny bit of silver on here. We're going to get these two little rivets right here on both sides. That's it. We're just going to do both. Then we're going to let it dry, and we're probably going to come in with a second coat. All right, there we go. There's our little silver rivets, looking good. Okay, here we go. Now we're going to come in with our medium yellow. All right, here's where the artistic part of this sort of comes in. We're going to do the same thing we just did, but this time we're going to use yellow. All right, and we're going to get just the tip. All right, now we're going to start lightly dabbing. Look what we're doing. See how we got a little bit of a fade going on there? We're going to do the same thing on all four sides. We're just going to hit it and hit kind of light, and it'll start to make a natural fade just like that. Look at that. Beautiful. And a little bit on the edge right there. Perfect. All right, there we go. We've got a fade from our color to our orange, and then we've got a fade from our yellow to our orange. Now, it doesn't have to be perfect. The gradient doesn't have to be perfect. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to come into these areas right here. We're going to come in with a brush. All right, we're going to get a stripe right through the middle. All right, there we go. We're going to do that on both sides. All right, there we go. We've got a yellow stripe right through the middle. All right. We're going to drag it across like that. All right, so now we've got it bright in the middle and it kind of fades off on the ends on both sides. All right, now we're going to let that dry, and then we're going to come back in and we're going to get it a little bolder right in the middle. Right in here, like this. There we go. We want it super bright yellow right in the center, just like that. All right, we're just going to go through those steps a couple times. All right, there we go. We've got yellow in the middle. It kind of fades out to orange. So it looks like it has a little bit of a glow in there. We did our orange and yellow fade on the tip of the hook. Nice. Now, like we said, down inside these edges, we hit some yellow and orange, which is almost impossible not to do. So, all right, now what we're going to do is we're going to come in with our black. All right, we're going to clean up. We're going to take the edge and we're going to come in here and we're going to cut in. That's it. We want this inside edge to be black. Not hard. Right inside there, it's black. All right, so we're going to cover up some of the little hits of orange and yellow we got on there. But we planned it in this order because we knew we were going to be coming in with black at the end, and the black covers everything. So just take your time. Cut in on your edge. just like that. All right, there we go. We've got black down around these inner edges of these vents here, so that it's black on the inside edge. Looks good. Not bad. That's kind of was the hardest part of the paint job, right in there, being real careful. So that's it. You saw us seal it, then you saw us spray it with our copper spray paint, and then we came in, we brushed on 2 tones of red on the handle, our French wine, and then our apple red. Dabbed the apple red around just to break up the tone a little bit. And because we used the sponge brush, it left this natural darkness in the gap there. And then we came in with our apple red, and we put on all these hits around the edges of the straps. And real easy stuff there. Brushed on the silver, had to do several coats because it was acting real oily. But that worked out, filled in nice. Then you saw us come in and get a little artsy here with the orange and the yellow fade right there. We came in and we started it at the tip with orange, faded it out, then came in with the yellow and faded it on the hook, looking good. And then inside these vent marks here, we've got bright yellow in the middle that kind of fades off to orange on the ends. So it has that appearance that there's some sort of a glow or something happening in there. And that's it. So with that last detail, putting the black edge around these vents, that brings our Dota 2 Broiler's Hook build to a close. Yeah, turned out great. And you saw what we were talking about with the painting, how we transitioned from the yellow to the orange and how easy that was. But there it is, man. Turned out great. Wrapped the handle, did this cool thing down here on the end where we took the square dowels and did the 45 cuts and put it all together. So we've got that nice bevel on the inside and the outside all the way around. Really cool. Nice look. And the paint job. You saw us seal it. You saw us spray it with our copper spray paint. And we didn't mask off anything, and then we just brushed everything else on, and it was totally easy. Looks cool. Man, I like this thing. Wow. Fits good in your hand. So that concludes making an EVA foam Broiler's Hook Part 2. Hope you liked it. If you did, give us a like, share us with a friend, and subscribe to this channel, and together we're going to go step by step through a lot more super cool builds so that you get the props you deserve. Thanks for coming. See you next time.